Welcome to Prescribing Lifestyle, the podcast that's all about empowering you to live your healthiest, happiest life. I'm your host, Dr. Avi Charlton, and each week we'll dive into the latest research, practical tips, and inspiring stories to help you optimize your well-being. From nutrition and fitness to mental health and mindfulness, we'll explore every aspect of lifestyle medicine, giving you the tools you need to make informed decisions and take control of your health. Whether you're looking into preventing disease, managing chronic conditions, or simply elevate your quality of life, Prescribing Lifestyle is here to guide you on your journey to wellness. So, sit back, relax, and get ready to embark on this transformative adventure towards a healthier, happier you. Let's dive in. Hello, welcome to another episode of Prescribing Lifestyle. I'm your host, Dr. Avi Charlton. The title of this episode is When Life Throws a Curveball, Navigating Stress Through Self-Care and Mindfulness. Now, I don't have good news for you this time on this episode of Prescribing Lifestyle. I am human too. Sometimes life gets stressful, and I'm going to share with you what happened. You might have seen on my social media that I've had a bit of stress going on. And to tell you the truth, life isn't all rosy for me. Of course, I only share certain things on social media and a lot of things I keep private. But I'm going to share with you that even though things are great, things going well, and I was actually quite happy a couple of weeks ago on my birthday, and I was so content with myself. And then all of a sudden, sometimes something just happens. So this is what happened, and I'm going to share with you what happened. You might have noticed that I went on a retreat last weekend with Julie Bristow and went on to the Yarra Valley retreat. It was so lovely, so relaxing, and I came home so content. I connected with the participants in the retreat and I was so happy, relaxed, slowed down my nervous system, and even Monday and Tuesday I had normal work days, but I felt very relaxed and chilled. I just went about seeing normal patients and seeing low-carb patients, trying to help them navigate their life. But on a normal consultation on Wednesday, I saw an email came through, which was from APRA. It was a heart sync. If you know a health practitioner who are regulated by APRA. So for those who don't know, APRA is the regulatory body of doctors and many health professionals, including allied health, physio, psychologists, and this is the Australian regulatory body for health professional. Can't really remember what APRA stands for. So APRA sent me an email and it says, highly sensitive, be careful. Be careful of your mental health when you open this email. And my heart sunk. And I know someone had reported me. It was a notification. Actually, the email was from notification number 1. And I'm going to share with you a little bit because I don't want to tell too much about the patient and you might have, I haven't got a consent from this person. So I'm just going to share you a little bit. What happened is, a few months ago, this patient had consulted me. He's a diabetic and he wanted to get on low carb because he wanted to get off his medications. And because he's on this medication called SGLT2, this medication is called empagliflozin, which is in the class of SGLT2. This medication can have the risk of causing ketoacidosis when you go on the medication and go on low carb. And I've heard my colleagues share the experience of some of the patients that go on this medication can actually get their glucose okay, but the ketones can go very high and it can be quite serious. And these patients have gone into intensive care and even can risk their life. So this patient came to see me in February, and he was sick before he came, and I got worried that if he goes on low carb and he gets sick and he gets dehydrated. So when I say sick, it just means that maybe he get a cold or an infection or something. And if he happens to be dehydrated as well, he can get really sick. Because of his past history that only a week ago before he saw me, he actually did get sick with pneumonia. And he did actually had sugar was okay, but he said he couldn't move and was very unwell. So I've decided that if he's going to go low carb, I'm going to stop this medication called SGLT2, empagliflozin. So I told him to stop it, and I told him to come back 3 to 4 weeks later. But he disappeared for 2 months. After that, he didn't come back, but he went to see my colleague, and he had all sorts of complications associated with high blood glucose, associated with diabetes. His blood glucose went really high. Before this complication, he told me, which is 2 months after he saw me initially, he told me that his sugar was uncontrolled. So I gave him this medication straight away already. But I think he didn't start the medication quick enough, and he had all sorts of complications and even needed emergency surgery. After a couple of months, he actually bought my package. Sorry, not after a couple of months. Initially, he actually bought my package, which is $599, and it includes two 30-minute consultations and two 15-minute consultations and my 8-week comprehensive online course. And he got the Zoom meetings, which is fortnightly as in group coaching. Unfortunately, he didn't attend any of the Zoom meetings, and he only completed 8% of my online course. So after I gave him medication, he got an infection. He needed emergency surgery, and he was quite angry that I charged him $600 for a consultation as well as claim Medicare. He was probably looking for compensation that he stopped his medication and got really sick and needed to have surgery. I refunded his course, but I got an APRA notification, which is a complaint made by him. Of course, this was Wednesday. Of course, it was a heart sink, and I was devastated. I didn't know what to do. I immediately debriefed my way through the clinic, talked to my colleagues at work, and get them to support me. They were all very helpful, and I got my support that I needed, but I still had to go through the motion. I was still in a curveball. I was still feeling puzzled and down, upset, feeling crap. Don't know what to do, emotions up and down, don't know who I should share this news with, not sure if I should share it on social media. And it was puzzling, it was devastating, it was hard, it was difficult. Doctors are human too. We prescribe medication, I prescribe lifestyle, I tell people to relax, I tell people to deal with stress and anxiety, but I get it as well. So first of all, I manage myself by debriefing to my colleagues, and I like to get other people's support. I told my girlfriend that are really close to me, this is what's happening, and of course, they give me support because they've hung with me for so long. And I allow myself to feel crap. I told myself, this is fine. You're feeling crap. This is normal. You've got stress going on. You're going to feel crap. You're just going to go through the process. This too shall end. You're going to feel down. You're going to feel depressed and upset about what's happened. And I just didn't suppress my emotions. I let myself process my emotions that I actually am still feeling crap. So that's the first step of how I dealt with my emotions. And after maybe 3 days, I started to move a bit more. It's hard. I started to look into myself a bit more, and I started to try to manage all this stress going on. I try to manage mindfulness to stay present so I can manage my anxiety. Of course, I practice breath work every day. So every day I still went back to my 15 minutes breath work, hoping this can slow down my nervous system. I did coherent breathing. If you haven't followed me, coherent breathing just means you breathe in for 5 counts, breathe out for 5 counts. Quite often just doing that can help you calm down. It works in short term and it works to suppress the overwhelming feeling. And I try to prioritize self-care. I know I have to look after myself because who else is going to look after me if I don't look after myself? So I prioritize my own self-care. On Friday, usually in the morning I would do a workout. I just sat on the couch, just scroll on the phone, and I allowed myself to not do anything, any exercise. So I didn't do anything. I scrolled on the phone until it's time for work. I told myself, that's okay, you feel crap. This too shall end. Just get on with it and get over it. Now I know myself that it could be a few days, it could be a week, could be 2. APRA has given me 2 weeks to produce a reply, so I had to manage it within 2 weeks. So I did nothing on Friday. On Saturday, I planned to go on a brand new park run in Coburg, which was actually lovely because the weather was lovely. There was quite busy and there was a lake or a creek and new environment, people that I don't know, and I did my exercise. I didn't push myself. I ran and walked a bit. I got sunlight, and I had actually booked a sound bath meditation session in the Collingwood Town Hall, which was actually perfect. I actually didn't know if I would be able to calm down, but I managed to lie there, practice mindfulness, breathe my way in the sound bath, listening to the music, try and stay present. The facilitator kept encouraging to think over and over again the 2 sentence, I am here and I am grounded. So I kept thinking these 2 sentences over and over again, that I am present and I am grounded. Actually, this really helped because I just looked at the situation where I was having the sound bath. There's no point worrying about what's happened. There's no point thinking about what I should have done or could have done to try and mitigate this complaint. There's no point thinking about what I should do in the future because I was there in the Collingwood Town Hall. Thinking about it then and there didn't really help. So I concentrated on practicing mindfulness and thinking about just breathe. Then the other thing I did is I worked on creating boundaries at work. There are work that has been stressful periods, and I don't want to overwhelm myself. I do usually have lots of ideas that what else can I do? I want to organize breath work, workshops. I want to do this. I want to do that. And I have to put myself that I need to have boundaries. Don't overwhelm myself. I can't do so many things and deal with emotions. So I set myself brand new boundaries. I'm not going to cook tremendous dinners. I'm going to cook easy meals to deal with my kids. I'm going to do washing once a week. I'm going to let the housework go. So setting boundaries was important. And eventually, after 3 days, I seek the support of a group of low-carb doctors. I put my story on the AMHS, so that's the Australasian Metabolic Health Society Facebook group, because I know those doctors who are all low-carb doctors and a few health coaches in that group will support me. I've connected fantastically with them, and I'm so grateful that I put it up, because those doctors have left really supportive comments and even suggested that I contact Dr. Gary Fettke, who has gone through lots of APRA complaints. Dr. Gary Fettke has been fantastically supportive, and he actually gave me a phone call straight away when I texted him that I was going through this APRA complaint. So I think it's important that we seek connection and support from other people, because you can't do things alone. Things are difficult sometimes. Getting help is important, and people do actually want to help you. Other things I did was I hugged my dog a lot, and she got lots and lots of cuddles, and she loves all the cuddles and kisses. And I concentrated on reflecting on my personal strengths. Through the Speakers Institute, I learned that my strengths include that I'm a learner, I like harmony, I'm an activator, I like good input, and I'm futuristic. So I'm going to concentrate that through this process, I'm going to learn from this. And I know that I like harmony. So through this process, I'm just going to concentrate that I'm going to harness harmony, that I just want to settle this and harmonize myself. My core value that I keep thinking about, and actually when Julie Bristow was hosting a coaching session at the retreat, I reminded myself before all this stress happened that one of my core values is growth. And I'm hoping through this complaint notification process, I'm going to grow as a human. I'm going to learn how to manage stress, and I'm going to grow as a doctor. There are times that I just don't want a doctor anymore, because there's all these people that are regulating you. It's so hard. Whatever you do, you would just worry about people complaining. And there are times I just don't want to practice medicine because it's hard. But I kept reminding myself that the mind tells you negative things, because 80% of what you think about is negative. Your mind's going to tell you to just throw the towel in and don't worry about doing anything, just curl up into a ball. But for a short period of time, it's okay, and I'm allowing myself to feel crap. But in the long run, life goes on, and this too shall end. So I think I'm managing okay. This morning I did cancel a breathwork coaching Zoom session that I was going to host for my group. I emailed them all, and they did email me back with fantastic support messages. I think they can see that I was a bit upset. The thing was, I had a cry before that time. I was going to host a breathwork at 8 o'clock in the morning, and at 7:30 I was crying my eyes out. So I think I'm managing okay. I'm just going to get through this. I'm going to let myself feel crap, and I'm going to tell myself this too shall end. Life throws curveballs at you. Things are going well, but sometimes unexpected things happen. In fact, in the next 2 weeks, I've got guests who will who will come and talk on my Prescribing Lifestyle podcast, how all of a sudden they had really unexpected events happening that is probably much, much more stressful than mine. So my stress is probably very minute compared to these guests who will tell you their story. So stay tuned in the next few weeks about on the Prescribing Lifestyle podcast, and I have guests who tells you how they bounce back through stressful situation, and these stressful situations are really unexpected, and how they manage their mindset on improving resilience, building their toughness, and becoming unbreakable. So thank you for tuning in. I will keep you up to date on how this app notification will happen. I have drafted my response to them, and hopefully I can still be your doctor. Otherwise, I might just be a social media person if I can't be doctoring anymore. We'll see. So thank you for staying tuned in the Prescribing Lifestyle podcast. I hope this episode is inspiring for you on how you can manage your stress, which it shall end, but learning to navigate it and learning to manage emotions can be very helpful. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Prescribing Lifestyle Podcast. Before we wrap up, I have an exciting news to share. I have a new ebook called Low Carb Made Easy. It's now available. This guide is perfect for anyone looking to dive into the low carb lifestyle. Inside, you'll find the basic theory behind low carb eating, a detailed food list, practical meal plan, and a variety of delicious recipes. It's designed to make a journey to better health easier, simpler, and enjoyable. For those who prefer a hard copy, head over to my website and register your interest using the link provided. My website is www.mlcclinic.com.au. Head to online store. Remember, the information shared in this podcast, it's for educational purposes only and not proper medical advice. Always consult your medical professional before making any changes to your lifestyle and diet, or you can come and see me in Melbourne Low Carb Clinic. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and stay connected with us on social media. Your feedback will help us improve and reach more listeners. Lastly, if you found this episode helpful, please share it with your friends and family. Together, we can make a positive impact to our health and our communities. Thanks again for listening, and as always, stay healthy and happy. Until next time.